How's it? Today is Monday. I am increasing what I did last week. Last week I was lifting at BBA, if you remember. Snatch push presses, overhead squats, snatch balances. That was the first week of the cycle, so understandably so, it would be a little bit easier. This week is just an increase on that. Um, I elected to increase by 3 kilos because I wasn't sure how much or how long Steve wants me to be on this block of the cycle. And then I had already increased by 3. Like I had already did like half of the workout before he got back to me. It was like, yeah, you can go up by 5. But I'm glad I went up by 3 just because some of these power snatches in the complex were very close. And like I always say, if it's close, it's not good. It's if it's questionable, it's definitely not a power. That's kind of how I view it. But yeah, I mean, this is just a continuation of last week, so it's not super big news, new things here. I guess for the front squat, I actually did read the program. So last week I didn't do the pause front squats. This week I did. So I did that, and that's what's gonna happen towards the end of the lifting. But otherwise, one thing that I don't write on these little notes on the bottom, or like the weights that I'm doing, is the last set of each of these exercises. Aside from the muscle snatch, I am doing like whatever set amount of the numbers it is, um, plus a few more. There's no finite amount more. So on these 1 plus 1 plus 1s, I might do 1 plus 1 plus 3 or 5. I don't remember. And then the hang powers, I try to do 5. On the deadlift or the snatch pulls, I try to do 5. And then on the pause front squats, I try to do at least 5 instead of the triple. So here's my second set here. So 83 is not very challenging, but when I do a lot of reps of it's a little bit challenging. You'll see, you'll see, you'll see. It's a little comical considering what I just said, but I think I do 1 plus 1 plus 3. I think that is correct. What I said earlier is correct. That's 1 plus 1. Here we go. 1. Solid. A little bit of forward and backwards movement. 2. A little bit more forwards and backwards movement. And then I think this one I ballerina. Yup. Yup, 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 yup. So I should pick a better time to say that these are a little bit easy. Whatever it is, I moved into my muscle snatches here. These are, I don't know. I feel like they are a bit excessive for what I'm doing for my goals. I think they are good for a warm up, but at this point in my lifting, I'm already warm. I already did pretty like pretty high effort muscle snatch. Sorry, not muscle snatches. Like overhead squats and snatch balances. Um, but I guess technically the movement specific stuff, as far as the snatch goes from the ground to overhead, that's something that is a little bit further from what the overhead squat is, the snatch balance is, or the push press is. So I mean, it definitely is valuable. I just think that sometimes when I add in too many things, it takes away from a lot of other things, and that was the case in this situation. Just because look how hard I'm struggling here with the 45, and then 50 is it's like a 30-second set. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to keeping these in here. I was unable to hold on to that, so I have to re-grip and then reset this whole thing. But I mean, I think for me, I I would benefit if this were the first movement that I did the whole day, rather than something after some already overhead work, if that makes sense. So yeah, so after those 5 triples at the muscle snatch, I moved straight into my power snatch complex, so 1 plus 3s. Last week I did 70. He was kind of getting me to choose between 3 to 5 sets last week. I only did 3 sets last week just because it was a little gassing. So I only did 3 sets this week as well. So it looks like I'm just going to continue with 3 sets for the remainder of the block. And try my best to kind of keep my chest on top of the bar, but also try my best to curl my fingers in so that I'm able to continue pulling with my chest over the bar as I am getting to extension. I have this idea in my head of what it looks like. It's extremely hard to explain, but as my legs are pushing, my lower back relative to my hips is growing more extended, but the angle itself is my first set here. But the angle itself of my lower back to my upper back does not change. The only reason why the hip extension changes is because I'm pushing with my legs. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna even remember what I'm thinking about when I watch this video back next week. Just because I don't know how else to explain it. If I could draw something, I would. Maybe I will draw something in the future. But here's my second set. And then, yeah, so some of these, like that one is extremely close to being not a power. And then I got some shit in my eye. Here's my fifth set. This is the one where I do, or sorry, my third set. This is the one where I do 1 plus more than 3. 1 plus 3 plus. So that's 1, 2, 3. Already getting close there. 4. That was a pretty solid one. And then I believe this is the last one here. Definitely not a power. But overall, I did that sort of the thing true to what Steve wanted me to do was extend. No, was the extra reps on that last set. Last week I didn't do it because I ran forward to catch the last, like the third rep on that hang power, so it would have been bad to go for a fourth rep, and arguably would have been dangerous to go for a fourth rep. So I fixed it this week. I remedied that with having better third rep and giving me the opportunity to try again for these extended reps. After that, moving to my snatch high pull, I am trying my best to maintain bar being close to my body without letting my body get pulled forward. So at the top, it looks like if my chest is up, my shoulders are a little bit back, and my elbows are high, then that's good. But if I get pulled forward where it seems like my chest is a little bit forward and then my elbows are significantly over the bar, then I am doing something not undesirable. Actually, not bad considering what I just said. Here's my last set. Moving pretty well. I'm getting pulled forward here. You see that little hip shift. That third rep was better than second rep. Look at me go. Yeah, not as good as the third rep on that fourth one. And then also not too great on the fifth one. But like getting some good reps in the middle of the set is a good sign. After that, I moved into my pause front squat like I mentioned. Last week I totally did not pause, so fixing it today. Went up to 103 for 3 threes, and I believe the last set, I said earlier I'm trying to go for at least 5. I think I do 6. We'll count. Overall, I'm actually pretty happy with how these are feeling. I'd imagine my upper back would be hurting a little bit more. I think I talked about it on Saturday's lifting, but it's pretty good. I think that my upper back lacks some thoracic extension flexibility, and then like um, some amount of like twisting flexibility. But I think the thoracic extension is the one that is more important to me. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is it. 2, 3. If I'm able to remain tight, then it's pretty easy. 4, 5. Yeah, 6. All right, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that last rep, you could see that I was kind of struggling already before I even started it, where my elbows were. But yeah, that's it for today. A continuation from last week. Not too much else to say. Thank you for watching. Shoots.